What's going on, guys? I'm Jada Black. Shout out to everybody that's tuning in. I want to talk about Leslie Jones. Apparently, Leslie Jones was on Wendy Williams. Okay. She may have been promoting the Coming to America 2 movie on Amazon Prime, right? And she was speaking to Wendy. Wendy likes to get into people's business. You already know that, right? So she's speaking to Wendy Williams, and the conversation came to relationships. And she said this, and this is one of the things, this is one of the reasons why she probably can't find a man. She says, you might, when they asked about her dating life, she says her romantic life was as good as one of the corns on her feet. Oh my God. You know, I it's been a while since I spoke about Leslie Jones, okay? And people might look at Leslie Jones and say she might be one of those women that just will not be able to get a man, no matter what her social status is, because she's not, and I'm just being real, she's not considered to be one of the most attractive women, okay? She's gonna get overlooked more than looked at. But I'm pretty sure there are guys out there that would date her. Listen, if Gabby Sidibe could find a man to want to marry her, I'm pretty sure there might be somebody for Leslie. Okay. Now, she also said this because she talked about how it's because of the men. The men are the reason why she can't find a man. And you will notice that in these conversations with women, a lot of the times they will look to blame men for why they cannot find a man. It's always the man's fault. It's always up to men to help boost the women out of wherever they're at. Even though a lot of these women's standards, what they look for, mostly physical, if they don't get that, then they're looking elsewhere, right? Instead of them looking themselves in the mirror and saying, you know what, I need to fix me, they want to get on social media, they want to do interviews, and they want to point the finger at the men. It's always the men who are the reason why these women can't get a man. Okay, this is what I talk about in my videos. This is why I do the videos I do. These women are constantly complaining about the men that they can't get, and it's always the men's fault. But this is what she said to Wendy. The men are broken, she told Williams. Then, speaking to all the eligible bachelors out there and suggesting they get some therapy so that they can be better romantic partners, Jones continued. You know, y'all always talk about how women are crazy. Y'all need to go talk to somebody too. Okay? We not all crazy. Y'all just broken. You see, once again, people, this is one of the reasons why Leslie Jones is where she's at. This is a woman who I don't really find funny. Okay, I've never really seen anything Leslie Jones has done and laughed. Okay, even though she's a comedic actress, they always promote the comedic actors. They're not really funny. And once again, I said this about Tiffany Haddish. She has access to resources. She could go anywhere in the world. I am pretty sure she could find somebody. But Leslie Jones is just like most women. They all want the same type of guys. But those guys aren't checking for people like Leslie Jones. Leslie Jones, to me, just seems like somebody who can be very awkward, who can be very weird. And a lot of guys are not attracted to that. They're not attracted to that. But they want to talk about it's because of men that they cannot get into a solid relationship. But what Leslie doesn't understand is that men have certain tastes. They either find you to be relationship material, marriage material, or they just find you to be one night stand material. They find you to be side piece material. You can't work your way into any categories right now. And that has more to do with you than those men. Because yes, there are men out there that are broken. There are men out there that have clear mental issues. I'm not going to say that there aren't men out there that don't have mental issues. But when you have people like Leslie Jones who think that nothing is wrong with them, they don't think they need to maybe change their look up a bit. Maybe they need to approach things a certain type of way. maybe they're the ones that need therapy, right? Maybe you should get people around you that want to see you win instead of see you, be who you are. Because I'm telling you right now, there are women who want you, Leslie, to be where you are, single and alone, because they are in the same predicament. They can't get or keep a man. So they're going to tell you what you want to hear. They're going to tell you, you know what, nothing is wrong with you. It's the men. And this is the problem. This is why a lot of these women are single. This is why a lot of these women can't stay in solid relationships. They're always blaming the men, and they're never able to be accountable for why their relationships don't work. Now, Leslie also said this during her interview with Wendy Williams, when she talked about dating apps, because you're starting to see even I'm talking about how you got a lot of these actresses, people in the entertainment industry, they're on dating apps now, especially a lot of the older ones, single and alone. She said what happened was, I'm Leslie Jones. So they were like, why is Leslie Jones on a dating app? It must be a fake account. So they thought it was a fake account. Somebody probably reported me as a fake account. She emphasized concerning how she got the problem resolved with the app. The comedian shared, I went back on Twitter and was like, excuse me, Hinge, it's me. Is it Hinge or Hinge? Y'all let me know. I've never heard of dating app before. But anyway, why can't I find no love, Hinge? No love, Hinge? I believe that's how you say that. Y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. But once again, you have a woman who have access to all these Hollywood friends, right? You can go anywhere in the world, but you're on dating apps. This is sad. Listen, there are guys that just ain't attracted to you, Leslie. Just like there are men that women aren't attracted to. But when we talk about the issues with women, y'all want to say that it's because we can't get a woman. I hear that a lot. I see people say, you know what? You can't get a woman. That's why you're talking about them. And what they don't understand is it's not that hard to get a westernized woman. It really not. Because women pretty much have already told you what they like and what you need to say to them. Just lie to them. Just lie to women and tell them what they want to hear. They'll cool with you, right? But Leslie got to understand that guys don't find you appealing because you have a very weird personality. You say weird things. They don't find you to be the most physically attractive. But again, you could be attracted to somebody, right? There are guys that will date and screw anything. I'm pretty sure they will look at Leslie like, okay, I can deal with her. I can get with her. But she don't want those guys. She, like the rest of these women, are looking for the top 10 to 15% of men who aren't checking for them whatsoever. Leslie Jones is the type of woman to get on social media and complain about the men that ain't checking for her. Instead of her actually going out there and finding somebody that wants her, she says that's not good enough. She should be able to get the guy that she wants. But when she can't, all of a sudden, the men have issues. It's all the men. The men need therapy. The men need help. It's never about looking in the mirror and saying, look at what I need to fix, because it's never your fault. It's never the fault of women when they can't get a man. It is always the man's fault, right? You have access to men in the entertainment industry. You have access to men across the world. Why are you still struggling and single and you can't find a man? Explain that to me. This is the excuse that's being put out here. No man wants just any woman, especially if he has money and resources himself. This is why you will see older men choose to marry younger women. And then you have women who are middle-aged and older who have an issue with that because they feel like those men should be designated for them. When all these years they played around, used up, now that they're tired of being in the streets, they want to settle down. They want a man their age. That man ain't checking for them. Most men with money and resources that y'all want ain't checking for you. And that's not going to change. That's why you need to look yourself in the mirror and say, what am I looking for? It's always the man's problem. It's the men have to fix themselves. This is why women are melting down at the thought of more men becoming more and more mainstream to speak on these particular issues, to really bring the fact that you have a lot of delusional women out here. These women are melting down because they realize that the jig is up. We see them for the delusional people that they are, and they don't like it. So they're trying to do everything in their power to keep men from speaking on them, from exposing what the problem really is. And it's not us, it's mainly them. Because again, there are men out here, there are probably men in Hollywood that would date her, other actors that would date her. She don't want them. Or maybe those guys are around her and say, you know what, this chick is just not, I'm not feeling this. I don't think I can be in a relationship with somebody like this. Leslie, nobody wants you because you don't want yourself. You're not working on yourself. You see, when you're an overweight guy, you're not going to get, no one's going to be checking for you. You have to get yourself in shape, and you have to be able to get attention from women without even trying. Because women are very visual, just like men. But I think more so women get caught up in that than men do.